Hey, what is up YouTube? Andrew Rooney here. I'm a full-time drummer and drum teacher here in Auckland, New Zealand.
What's wrong with being from New Zealand?
You're from New Zealand as well, and I'm from New Zealand.
Something a little bit different today. The idea of this video is to tell you about my favorite drum intros. Kind of like a video that Rick Beato already did a few years ago. I'm a big fan of Rick's, of course, like most musicians, and I did a video reacting to it and what I thought of those intros and what I expected to be in the video. So this one's all about my picks. I was waiting for him to mention certain songs or intros that I thought were really obvious that he didn't. And that's not a critique of Rick, of course. That's just a thing about different age, different demographic, growing up in a different city, country, and listening to different music. Links to Rick's original video and my reaction to Rick's original video in the description of this video. I just said the word video too many times, now it's not making sense. Do you ever get that? But seriously, go and watch Rick's original video. It's awesome, and yeah, I think Rick would be probably near the top of my dream interview list. So Rick, if you're watching, or if you want to tag Rick in this video and let him know that I'm looking for him, Rick, Mr. Beato. Now, my only rules for this video is that it has to be literally drums only, so before any other instrument has entered the song. And the other rule I made for myself is that I won't list any that Rick Beato featured. But please do stick around to the end and I'll let you know which ones I would have had in my list from Rick's list. And I might just add a little surprise, a little Easter egg at the end, very end, intro that I bet none of you have thought of. Alright, here's my top 10. First I'm going to play the fill, give you a second to guess what the name of the song or the artist is, and then I'm going to tell you why it made my list. You ready? Let's hit it. Number 10 on my list is Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. Mick Fleetwood on drums. The album is 1977, released by the band. We get a short anacrusis starting on the and of 3. Sixteenth note triplets with the last note of the triplet landing on the downbeat of 4. I don't know what Mick's sticking is for this fill. I couldn't really find a live video of him, but it sounds to me like a single stroke 4. So after those 4 hits, then we get a rack tom on the and of 4. And what's really distinctive here with this fill is that instead of crashing on the 1, which is what we're used to, hearing, he just leaves 1 empty, plays a bass drum. So it's very raw, very bare bones, and then we get the nice crash with the backbeat snare hit on the 2. That sets up a displaced crash and snare, backbeat on 2, for a lot of the rest of the song, and it becomes a real signature in that tune. It adds tension and is somewhat reminiscent of like a rolling thunder type sound, which plays into the lyrical content and the themes of the song, so it's absolutely brilliant. It's a really distinctive musical statement and is just perfect complementary drumming, which is what we'd expect from a great band drummer like Mick Fleetwood. It's certainly a case of this is not just drumming, it's not only technically difficult to make it sound like Mick Fleetwood, it's just a great musical decision. And before we move on to number 9, apparently Fleetwood Mac have got a new album coming out really soon. I mean, so I heard, I'm not sure, I mean it might just be rumors. I wasn't going to put that in. Alright, here is number 9. Number 9 is Be My Baby by the Ronettes, recorded in 1963, the legendary Hal Blaine on drums. This dotted quarter note rhythm on the bass drum is so iconic and so legendary and full of nostalgia for me. This is the kind of music my parents would have on in the house, and yeah, it's hard to describe the connection, a place in time and a moment in my life when I hear that intro, those 2 bars on the bass drum and the snare, it just takes me right back there. It's just magic. This very, very simple intro drum fill became so iconic, so good at setting a scene, setting a mood, that Hal Blaine used it on multiple recordings. I'm going to include a Spotify playlist in the description of the video, and it lists, I think it's about 20 to 30 songs, famous, massive, big songs that all use this exact same intro. It's quite amazing. Moving right along, here is number 8 on my list of all-time greatest drum fills. Number 8 is Rock With You by the one and only John J.R. Robinson off the Michael Jackson album Off the Wall. If you're not familiar with J.R.,
I say, hold up, wait a minute.
he is an all-time Hall of Famer drummer and someone who comes up with many, many famous and recognizable drum parts. Still one of the most sought-after studio drummers in the world today. This recording is from 1979 and JR is still going strong and still playing absolutely fantastic. Now, like the Dreams intro, number 10, we've got a silky single-stroke 4 with a little volume bump in it, a little crescendo, a lot of shape and flavor to this fill. Actually, like the Dreams one, there is like a little volume bump as they do that little single-stroke 4. Then we get another flam, so another rudiment, single stroke 4, flam. We've already got 2 rudiments and 1 bar of drum intro. It's also linear, so there's a lot going on in this bar. Try it for yourself. It's a hard fill. I mean, like the Dreams one, deceptively difficult. On paper might look easy, and you might get people out there going, there's way more difficult fills of machine gun double kicks and stuff. Yeah, I'm sure there is. You need to start looking at why these songs are so famous and why these fills really resonate with people. They're really difficult to execute with this beautiful human touch. Because we got rudiments, because we got linear playing, we know the drummer is technically proficient and also incredibly musical, and this is just an undeniable classic. A musically appropriate, exciting, professional, and classy drum intro for a classy, iconic song. On we go, number 7. Number 7 is Two Princes by the Spin Doctors. The other song, along with Rock With You, that I kept mentioning in that Rick Beato video that I just couldn't believe, I'm surprised anyone could leave those 2 songs out. This was released in 1991 on their album Pocket Full of Kryptonite, and the drummer is Aaron Comis. What a glorious drum fill. 30 seconds into 16ths, and again with the accents. And if you follow the accent pattern in this fill, Aaron is actually playing a 3/2 son clave on the bass drum. So again, like the JR fill, we've got a deep understanding of music, and we've almost got a mini history lesson on the drums in 1 bar of drum fill. It's quite amazing. Rudiments, control, drum history all rolled up into that 1 fill. Just magical. Number 6 is a real curveball. This list, by the way, I should have mentioned, I'm not really going in order of, my least favorite drum fill to my first favorite. But this one, I think I would have right at the top. It's coming in at number 6, but it's probably my favorite intro fill of all time, and it is a real curveball. If you get it right, kudos to you. Those that know. Did you get it? This one is off one of my favorite albums of all time. The song is Something Something. It's by Maxwell. It's off the 1996 neo-soul classic Maxwell's Urban Hang Suite. Now, looking through the credits here are the personnel credits for the album. I couldn't find a specific credit for that song, but there were 6 people listed in the credits as drummers or including beat machines, and that was included Maxwell himself. So 6 people potentially responsible for this fill. My guess from this personnel list that the person we're hearing is indeed Gene Lake. Again, Gene is one of these players that if you know, you know. I'm sure a lot of you would not possibly have even heard of Maxwell or listened to this album. Get on it. Here is number 5. No points for guessing this one. I think anybody would guess this one. Well, I guess it depends on how I actually played it in the video as to whether you're going to guess it. But yes, it was by Guns N' Roses, You Could Be Mine, off the 1991 album Use Your Illusion 2, Matt Sorum on the drums. Now the word of the day for this fill is quads. 2 hands, 2 feet. I'm not sure if Matt played this fill with a double kick pedal. I would assume he probably would, and it's probably a good idea if you want to make it nice and clean. Believe me, back in 1991, drummers were freaking out about this fill. It was a big moment in the drum world. This song also featured prominently in the smash hit Film of the Year, which was Terminator 2. So all of a sudden you had drums front and center in this massive worldwide blockbuster hit, and it just set the mood. Fast-paced, action-packed, and just really exciting. You ready for number 4? You ready to get your groove on? You ready to get that shoulder roll happening? Hey, of course, Brick House by the Commodores off the 1977 album, imaginatively titled Commodores. Now the drummer here is Walter Orange. We've got 32nd notes on the snare into broken, funky 16th notes, ending on the E of 4. Now if you're playing with an experienced bassist, and I've done this at gigs, often, you know, if it's just a jam band or a band that's been put together on the night, and you know you got some hotshot players around you, as a drummer you can just launch into this fill. And, you know, the bassist, he's just going to go, assuming you play it reasonably close to the recording version, it's just so recognizable. You can just launch into it, and I got you. Boom, 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 boom. Absolute classic, instantly recognizable snare, tom, rhythm, and orchestration. Absolute classic. All right, let's hit number 3. Number 3 is Waiting on the World to Change by John Mayer. Drums by the one and only Steve Jordan, one of my personal favorite drummers ever. I probably say that about so many drummers, but man, Steve Jordan is right at the top for me. And it is off the 2006 album Continuum, John Mayer. It's essential listening for any musician, any instrument. It's just a masterclass from top to bottom, like most John Mayer albums. Now just think, on this tune, Steve plays just a really groovy 2-bar pattern with some nice displaced backbeats, swung 16th notes, barely any fills in the song, barely any variation in the song other than the bridge. But just imagine, this is such a powerful statement, this groove that he just keeps basically for the whole time, that John Mayer decided to actually start the song with just that, just those drums. And it's the beat that happens for the whole song. That's how powerful this groove is. And it's another one that, on the surface, you look at the transcription, it looks really easy, and then you go to record it, and it's just not easy. I can't make it sound like Steve Jordan, and I worked on the song. So yeah, there's something to it. Try and play it, and most importantly, record yourself, listen back, and ask that all-important question. Does it sound like Steve Jordan? And the answer is no. All right, we're getting into the real heavy stuff now. Number 2. Of course, everybody knows this fill, assuming that I played it clearly enough on my video. It is Wipeout by the Surfaris, 1963. The drummer is Ron Wilson, and we get 6 whole bars. 6 bars of just drums on a hit song. Now, can you imagine being tasked with the idea of just solo drums for 6 bars? We're going to write a hit pop song now, today, and we want 6 bars of drums at the start. Go. Now, there is one word for this fill, and why it is so famous, and why the song was so successful and so famous, and that is accents. Now, without accents, this groove, this song would not have been a hit song. Now, that's a really, really massive call for a huge song. But I'll say it again, and I stand by this. If the drum groove on this song did not have accents in it, it would not be a hit. Now, think about that, and think about that in terms of your practice with dynamics and accents.
Let me think.
Accents are one of the key weapons in a drummer's arsenal. They provide shape, groove, personality. They can imply polyrhythms. They can imply the subdivision. Drummers, coming from a drum teacher, public service announcement, warning, do not ignore accents. Do not ignore accent patterns. Practice accents diligently and practice them daily. Drum roll, please, for number 1. Number 1 is in its own category, in its own stratosphere, its own universe. A special area reserved for the originals, for the game changers, the legends who actually established the role of the drums and how drums were going to be used and viewed moving forward into the future, into the present day. Sing, Sing, Sing. First released in 1936 by Louis Prima and the New Orleans Gang, then recorded multiple times by different artists, most notably Benny Goodman and his orchestra, with the legendary Gene Krupa on the drums. Again, it is all about the accents, baby. Syncopated accents, swung eighth notes over the classic jazz foot pattern, game changer. Alright, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I'm sure there's going to be lots of lively feedback on this video, lots of disagreements, lots of Rick's list was better. Maybe it was. That's going to depend on your musical taste and what you listen to. These ones were really impactful for me and definitely changed how I viewed the instrument, how I practice the drums, creatively when I'm trying to create parts for other people. This is the kind of motivation and inspiration that I draw on personally. Now, I did only do 10 drum intros on this one. It's a team of 1 here. Hello! I think doing 20 was just going to be a bit too much of a stretch, but I will not rule out doing a part 2 or perhaps even a part 3 and 4 of this. I mean, there are plenty of drum fills, and I'm sure if I asked around for some famous drum fills, there'd be so many that I'd think, hey, oh yeah, how could I have left that out? But yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. Please, if you do enjoy the channel, if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out. It's not to boost my ego, and it doesn't cost you anything. It just helps the channel out. And hit that like button, leave a comment with what you thought of it, what you're annoyed that I left out or what you agree with. I really appreciate all that feedback. go along, pick up your free Drumeo trial, 30-day trial with Drumeo. Again, absolutely free. Go check it out and see what they got to offer you over there. I'm going to go fix myself another coffee. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Until then, take care. Ciao. Hey, what's up, guys? I did say that I would mention which of the Rick Beato picks I would have also picked. Now, as a lot of you viewers will know from my channel, I missed a lot of the classic rock stuff for whatever reason, possibly because I was listening to the stuff that you saw in this video. But I would have had Billie Jean. I think that's just a classic. Superstition, definitely. What else? I see the Led Zepp stuff I would have completely missed. My Sharona would have been in there. And there was one other. Yeah, maybe one or two others that would have made my list. Now, I posted probably a week or so ago now on my Instagram. I've been posting every now and then some sneaky little drum fills. And I said I was going to drop an Easter egg at the end of this video. So let's see in the comment section who can get this one. Thanks for watching.